Hi there, my name's Tony Ruby. I live and work in and around the Grantham area and a lot of the associated nearby villages. Home for me is on Goodby Hill Foot. It's where my children go to school. I work in the town and around the town. We shop in the town. We use the businesses in and around the area. And it's also where we play and enjoy ourselves and socialise. I've got a bit of spare time on my hands at the moment, so what I wanted to do was try and help smaller, independent, local businesses by talking to them and bringing them to you whilst they can't come to you. And at the moment, I'm sat with Shaun Olivant. Shaun is the owner of SAO Carpentry and Joinery, and he's based in the Grantham area. How are you, Shaun?
I'm good, thank you, Tony. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. Thanks very much for asking. Bearing up, enjoying the weather when it comes. We've had a couple of cold days, haven't we? It's not too bad today.
Yeah,
so tell me, Shaun, you've been in and around the area for a lot of years. What is it you love about Grantham?
Firstly, probably location. Location's brilliant. You know, you've got good rail links, travel links, motorways. Everything seems to be close by. Yeah, nothing seems to be. It's, you know, with the location sort of thing, you're straight onto the A1, or you know, you've got the main rail links as well. So nothing's, you know, you don't have to do an half an hour journey to get to a main motorway and things like that. So for me, locations one. Schools. Yeah. I think the schools in the area are really good. I really do. I know a lot of people in Grantham and a lot of people outside Grantham when I've been working and stuff. I've met people that have moved to this area just because of the schools. I've met quite a few people when I've been doing jobs who've done that. And yeah, the people as well. The people are really nice. I like Grantham people. It's from not being originally from Grantham and moving here. I've always been made to feel welcome in Grantham, and that. And yeah, it's a nice place, Grantham.
Great stuff, great stuff. So obviously the people have, over the years, you've now had SAO, you've been a joiner and carpenter for many years, haven't you?
Yeah, I sort of did it when I left school. I went into, when I left school, straight into sort of joinery, cabinet making, furniture, bespoke kitchens. And then, bizarrely enough, I went over to Spain for sort of 2.5 years to work over there, which was an experience. Came back, met my wife, and I worked for a company called HomeServe for a few years. Unfortunately, quite a few of us in the Grantham area who worked for HomeServe, we all got laid off, and that sort of gave me the push to go on my own, and went from there, sort of thing. But yeah, predominantly done joinery all my life. It's not. I don't class it as a job. It's more of a hobby, mate. To be fair, I enjoy working with wood and doing different. It's something different every day, which is one of the main aspects where I really like the job, because it is something different every day. You could be fitting a kitchen today, you could be doing something different the next, sort of thing. So no day is ever the same.
So when you started out on your own, how many years ago are we talking?
On my own, 12, 13, maybe 14 years.
Wow. Yeah.
So yeah,
come on, yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, we did. We started off about 14 years ago. Just put a little tiny advert in the journal and went from there. And I've still got some of the customers that, you know, first rang out that little advert that I still do work for as well. And then we went down to work. We got the sort of the contract to do the kitchens for downtown for sort of 8 years or so. We worked with downtown, and then sort of came away and set up a kitchen showroom with A1 as well, which I've got sort of co-ownership in as well. So.
Okay. So the people of Grantham clearly then have taken you to their hearts over the course of the last 13, 14 years with joinery company, your carpentry skills, and obviously now your kitchen endeavours. Why do you think that is?
I'd like to think it's because I'm a nice person. I don't really know, to be fair. I mean, I'm not a horrible person. I don't really speak bad. You know, I don't speak badly of anybody. It's, you know, I see it. You're only here once. You've got to enjoy it, haven't you? And I think that's, you know, my philosophy on life. And I think the people in and around Grantham are really friendly, and if there's no need for anybody to think otherwise. Sort of thing. So
I think the fact you've been on your own 14 years now tells me an awful lot about the type of person you are, Shaun, because ultimately I think people buy from people they like and know, don't they?
yeah, it's about giving it's giving a good service for and doing it right, and getting things people, as I always say to people when I'm pricing up jobs, especially kitchens and bigger things, people save a lot of money, and they save a lot of money to do these things, and they don't want somebody going in and just doing an half-lap job. You know what I mean? It's people put their life savings sometimes into a new kitchen or bathroom or whatever they're doing, and it's with doing my job, I feel that you need a conscience. Do you know what I mean? There's a few people, there's a few horror jobs I've seen over the years, and there's no place in my world or anywhere else for them sort of people. So it's about doing the job right and doing it at a fair price for people, so they get the best value for money.
Yeah, well, again, ultimately that then leads to recommendations, doesn't it? You don't want one big payday. You want people to recommend you.
Yeah, we haven't. I since we did it the downtown thing. I haven't advertised for a number of years now, so it does basically just go on recommendations, which is really nice. And for me, a recommendation is better than any other thing as well, because it shows you've done something, that somebody's happy with, and somebody's that sort of thing.
Yeah, good stuff. So can you tell me a little bit about your family in the Grantham area? I mean, obviously you're a family man with children yourself.
Yes. I'm married. Been married for 7-8 years.
Don't get it wrong, because she'll be watching.
7-8 years, yeah, to the lovely Karen, mad as an actor, like us all. She's in care. She works at Newton House, care home on Barrowby Road, so she's busy at it in a minute. Loves the job, loves the people. Obviously, it's made harder in this sort of awful world we're in at the minute, but hopefully everybody will pull together and come through. I think we will. I've got 2 boys, Harry, who's 17. He left school last year and he's on a scholarship at our beloved Lincoln City.
Wow.
And I've got little Lenny, who's 11, just turned 11, and he's at Belton Lane School. Great little school, love it, just down the road from us. And he's obviously he's off to big school, whenever it may be, whether it's September or who knows.
Yeah. Which school are you going to go to, Shaun?
Hopefully Priory.
Hopefully
Priory. That's where we had a bit of a thing where he didn't get in. He didn't get in where we wanted him to, so we've had to appeal against it. It just means that if we did what we if we went to the school that they put him to, it means Karen would have to change her job because she can't the hours. So we've appealed against it, and hopefully they'll see the better nature
and make the right decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't praise Priory Ruskin enough. I mean, my son goes there, my stepson kid, who's in the first year at the moment, just about to complete his first year, and he's absolutely loving life there. He's
it's a good school. Harry, my eldest, he went all the way through, did really well, got some really good exam marks. Teachers were brilliant, never had any problems there. It's literally literally 5 minutes down the road for us. Yeah. So ideal location as well. So, but I can't fault the school. School's brilliant. To be fair, Harry had a really good time there, and he's done well and come out of it well with his sports and stuff. So hopefully the little one will follow in his footsteps, sort of thing. So
I thought it might get sibling rights. Do they not get sibling rights if the brother's been there previous?
I think it's only if they're still there. If he'd have stayed on in sixth form, he might have done, I think, but because the football scholarship's too good to turn down, mate. So Harry's also just signed on. Well, he signed on last season, but he's aiming to play more this season in the men's league for Harrowby United. Jamie McGee and Michael and Mark Fardell and Mickey Hatter has expressed a nice interest in him to bring him to the sort of front and hopefully get him playing this season. So,
that'll be great for his development, won't it, as well, I think?
Yeah, Lincoln have said the same. I spoke with Richard Belcher at Lincoln, and he said the same. It'd be a great starting block for Harry to get into that sort of thing. He played, to be fair, he played last season. He played sort of 4 or 5 youth team games for him at the start of this season that we've sort of missed out on. He was doing really well, and I can remember going out to watch him in a pre-season friendly at Yaxley, and yeah, some of the blokes there, they were like 6'6", and they were big old boys, and he just looked like a little dot, bless him. But he's filled out a bit, a good year at Lincoln in the gym and the training and that, and he's at ready. So
Dad's a Lincoln City fan like myself. So is he a Lincoln fan as well?
Yes, mate. Yeah, little wife originally was from Grimsby. So yeah, I know. Yeah, but she's converted, mate. She's been converted. Full season ticket holder. I've been a season ticket holder for a number of years, and but yeah, she absolutely loves it. It's what she classes, because Harry's a lot older now, and Lenny is, he's 11 now. It's the one thing. The wife loves it. She loves the football. She loves the experience, the atmosphere. But it's the one thing that we do as a family.
Yes.
That's the mainstay for her as well. It's something we do as a family. We do it every week, and then sometimes away games she'll come with us. Sometimes it's me and the little one. But obviously going on sometimes, as you know, we have a Jolly Boys outing, and off we go.
What you mean, Shaun? Don't know what you mean. So can you tell me a bit about some of the contractors you might use? Are they local guys? What they do for you? Why you trust them?
Yeah, I use electrician-wise. I've used Map Electrical, Mark Parker. Really, I've known Mark. I've used Mark since I first set up, sort of 13, 14 years ago. Just sort of rang him out of a paper. He had an advert, rang him, met him, got a great vibe off him, and we've sort of stuck together ever since. Plumbing wise, use Steve Catterson, SC Plumbing and Heating. Really good plumber, knows his stuff. Again, it's nice because we have a team. We also used Matt Price Joinery Solutions. Matt does some fitting for us as well. Flooring wise, there's J Kerr Flooring we use a lot of the time. That's more through A1. In the past, I've also had Grantham Carpets do some work for us as well. Can recommend both of them. Highly recommend. But yeah, done decorating, James A. Graham, really good Jag decorating, superb decorator. But yeah, and he's more to do with what I want to do, sort of with looking for a sort of thing going forward. He's predominantly somebody that I'm going to use a lot more as well for the kitchen side of things. So.
And it's absolutely imperative you trust these people, isn't it? Because ultimately you'll take them on site.
It is. I mean, it's all right you go around somebody's house and you get the trust yourself off the customer, but I've got to know that I can trust them boys in the house on their own, and feel feel safe and everything, and they're not going to do anything they shouldn't be doing. And like I say, I've been going 13, 14 years. I've never had any complaints of the customers for anybody or the subcontractors messing about in the house or going somewhere where they shouldn't.
Yeah, good stuff. Is there anything interesting you could tell me about Grantham that people might not know? Throwing that one at you.
Yeah, I always remember there's a couple of things. I had a job years ago. I don't know how true this is. I had a job years ago. It was a really old fella, and they're the best sort of jobs because I can sit and listen to them sort of people for years. I've lived in Grantham all his life, and I can sit and listen to stories. It's like the old Uncle Albert thing on Only Fools and Horses, but he was brilliant. The job actually took me probably 4 days longer than it actually should. But it was just through the joys of just talking to him, because I could literally just sit down on my dinner and listen to him for like 2 or 3 hours, and some of the stories he told. But he did say that he was an ex-policeman, and he said that there was a lady, was it Edith Smith in 1914? She was born here, first female police officer.
I think it's Elsie Davis.
Is it? Oh, I don't know, but that's what he was on about. And then he said something about was it the first diesel engine, running engine was made in Grantham?
That's
in
interesting.
the
I went somewhere last bank holiday in August, and we ended up in like a steam museum, and there was
yeah.
a couple of steam engines there, which were British Martel Ruston's design, should I say,
Yeah.
which would add two and two together. So yeah, some good facts there, Shaun. Some good facts.
Yeah, I know, you know, I've seen obviously some of the videos, and I can just remember a bloke. I always remember him just saying about it, and he said it was in the late 1800s that the first running diesel engine was apparently made in Grantham. So yeah, and obviously the normal Thatcher and things like that everybody knows. So
yeah, indeed. There's a lot of history with the town, isn't there? A lot of history with the
yeah,
town.
there is. Yeah, it's quite it's a really, I find it quite a unique town. I think the way it could be, you know, the sort of traffic layout, the one-way system could be a little bit better, and it frustrates me in the morning with the traffic, because as I can imagine, it does quite a few people in Grantham. But it's a small place, you know, with a lot of people doing, you know, what they do, and you know, with school traffic moving and work traffic moving, it's going to come congested. But yeah, it's very, very nice place, Grantham, very nice place, and the beauty of it is, you just literally sort of, wherever you go, you're literally sort of 5 minutes drive away from a country walk, which for it's brilliant. You know, somewhere to take the dog. You've got, you know, the Belton, out at Belton and all that area, which is our sort of side of town, which is great. So literally out the door, you can walk down, and within 5 minutes you're in Belton House grounds, which is amazing. So
Stunning, stunning.
I was up in the countryside, so it sort of brings the sort of town aspect in, and also the countryside aspect back as well.
You get the best of all worlds, don't you, I think?
Yeah, it's nice, very nice.
Yeah, good stuff. Is there anything you could tell me that's changing the joinery demands of the Grantham people over the last 12, 14 years or so?
Doors. Everybody wants doors. Now, I don't know really. It's like everything. Every sort of line of business, everything evolves. I went with A1 earlier on this year, just before the lockdown sort of started, to a big kitchen, bathroom, and bedroom sort of, what do you call it, show sort of thing in Birmingham, the NEC, and I've never been before, and it was something else. Some of the things some of the companies are bringing out, and some of the designs, the colours and things like that. At the end of the day, everybody's different. I think if everybody had the same sort of idea, my job wouldn't be as good as it was, or I wouldn't enjoy it as much as I was. And it's nice going around, because you know, when you go around to people's houses and they explain what they want, everything's always different. Everybody has a different design in their head. Everybody has a different way of doing things and that. And even you know, you can be in the trade, like I've been in the trade sort of 26 years, and every day is a school day, Tone. Every day is a school day. Always learning.
I bet the best jobs are the ones, from what I'm hearing here, the best ones are the jobs where you go to a house with not sort of an idea of what they want until you get there. They explain what you want. It's quite unique, quite different. And the next thing you know, you've got this sort of new project to get your teeth into and find solutions for.
Yeah, it's great. It's like if somebody, you know, it's nice when you walk in, someone's got like a space at the end of the room, and they say, oh, we don't know what we really want, but we want some storage area there. And you go away, you come home, you get doodling some rough ideas on some papers. I remember a few years ago, the trickling tap. Paul Adams, the bloke who, and his son Luke, they came to me quite a few. I did Paul's Kitchen years and years ago, and he came to me and asked me about designing the shop when it was the liqueur deli sort of thing. And that was quite an exciting time for me, because I actually got to design some sort of displays for him and everything. And I sort of did it for sort of 2 or 3 weeks, went round to his house, showed him. And I was quite nervous at the time going round, because I sort of put sort of a couple of weeks of evening work into it, designing these displays and stuff. And obviously didn't know what he would think of them. And when I actually went round and showed him the designs, he was like, that's exactly what we're looking for. It's brilliant. And then to get to put that into actual making the things and actually fit the shop out and seeing it on its opening night and everything. We've done, you know, I've done a lot of work for Paul over the years with the trickling tap, and we did work on the bar at the back as well. And I've been in a few It's a hidden gem, that place. Very, very nice.
Yeah,
Very
I love
nice
that
place.
place. I was lucky enough to go to the opening evening of the Tap and Tonic, and it is a lovely, lovely little, very, very boutique. Wouldn't know it's there. Stunning place.
I think anywhere you go in the country, you'd struggle to find somewhere like that. I don't think there's many places like that in the country. Very well done. You know, they've thought about it a lot. You know, it's a very, very nice place. But yeah, I've had some good memories on there, kitting it all out. We did some work on the Juniper Tap as well. We did a lot of joinery work on the Juniper Tap with the new bar at the front as well, when that changed from the trickling tap. We did a work in the Tap and Tonic at the back as well for Paul as well. So yeah, he's a nice bloke, Paul, and you know, I take that off to him. He's done very well.
Such a niche little thing, isn't it, they've got there, but they've absolutely nailed it. Yeah, completely.
Yeah, very good.
So, if there's one thing you could change about Grantham, what would it be? And one thing you could keep the same, what would it be?
One thing I'd keep the same. The people, keep the people the same. I wouldn't want to change the people, because, like I said from the start, they've been good to me. You know, I like the people in Grantham. They all seem friendly enough. Everybody, you know, me and my wife go out for a walk at night. Everybody's all, hello. You know, it's friendly. Things, again, keeping the schools the same. You wouldn't want to change the schools too much and things like that. And obviously the location's not going to change. Things I would change, things I'd like to change. I would like to see. It's hard because obviously the two things, I know there's been talk of these two designer outlets in town coming upon us. I would probably like to see more shops in the town centre, more parking, a little bit more parking. I'd like to see more shops in the town centre instead of, you know, there's a lot of cafes, hairdressers and second-hand shops. And for me, if you're a long-haired person who likes eating pizza and wearing second-hand clothes, it's the town centre's a place for you. I'd like to see more, you know, some not bigger shops come in, but people to open, people from Grantham to open the little unique shops, and people the people of Grantham to support them as well.
Yeah. There's one word you could give me to describe Grantham and its people. What would that be?
Friendly.
Okay.
Friendly. Helpful. I know it's too, but helpful or friendly. Either one.
Yeah. And definitely. a little bit of a teaser question here, and I might be putting you on the spot a little bit, but once this is all over and you've done the thing of going to see the family and friends, you've got a day to yourself, what's your day going to look like? What are you going to do? Who are you going to see? Where are you going to go?
After I've seen family?
Yeah.
Well, after I've seen the family and done everything, hopefully go and watch Lincoln.
Yeah. I'll be with you.
Yeah. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'm hoping once this is all blown over and safe, everybody feels safe to come out. I hope it's like we had a few years ago with the street parties, everybody coming out. I hope people come out, and I hope people support local businesses, because they're the ones that's been going to be hit the hardest. They really are. I mean, I've been off work, 7 weeks now, so it's nice to be off and spend some time with the kids. It is nice. It's something that I don't have that luxury of doing when I'm at work. So it has sort of changed. You know, if it's one thing that it has changed for me, that I will spend more time with the boys and do things, you know, with the kids and that. But yeah, I think you know, a nice sort of drive somewhere and a nice walk out without the social distancing, so to speak. Just be able to close to somebody that are 2 meters away, so you feel like you're being rude.
Yeah, you kind of have to plan your moves maybe 10 meters in advance, don't you? If somebody's coming
towards you. Go out for a walk out with the dog, it's, you know, it's like I class it as a giant game of Pac-Man. It just reminds me of the old sort of Atari game, Pac-Man.
Yeah. I think my day looks like this. I think first things first, I've got to sort this out. So you maybe don't have that problem, Shaun.
No,
But I should go and sort this out by going to see my dear friend Patrick Harland, but over at Lads and Dads in Sleaford. I'd then come back to town. I think I'd end up in the morning, probably nipping down somewhere to get a nice English breakfast. There's a selection of cafes to do that. I'd probably then go and see some friends, spend a bit of time in the afternoon, having a barbecue around somebody's house, perhaps. And then I think the evening would probably start early, late afternoon, nip down somewhere like Hunter's, have a few frames of pool and a couple of pints. Nip into Eddie Pimlott's place, and nobody in next door, have a couple of bevs in there, down to the Checkers, down to the Goose. Oh, you've got it all planned.
You've been thinking about this one for a while, haven't you?
Yeah, well, I've had 7 weeks to think of it like you, I'm sure. 7 weeks. But that would be obviously a non-match day, because obviously if Lincoln are at home, then that takes precedence, and I'll be over there in a flash.
I don't think that'll be this year anyway, watching Lincoln. So.
No, I know. It's a real shame, isn't it? Listen, Shaun, I've had a great time speaking with you today, and I really thank you for taking the time out to sit and talk with me. I certainly think you're one of the jigsaw pieces that make up the greater picture of the greater good in Grantham, and I hope you, your family and your business come through the next weeks and months very well, and I look forward to seeing you at some point soon.
And you, Tony, take care, my friend.